So let's try to understand the concept of continuous integration. So what is continuous integration? Let's begin from the development. Like let's say developers write the code, right? And they place the code, which is called continuous development. They place the code in a version control system like Git. We learned it, right? Developers makes commits and do this coding, which is continuous development. Once continuous development, development is done, it would go for continuous builds, right? Continuous builds where the code would be built. What if any build failure is there? Any errors in the build, any syntax errors, any runtime errors? Who will fix it? Okay, this is continuous development. Developers are writing the code, placing the code in version control system. Continuous builds. Code would be built continuously. Means whenever developer write a code, I need a system which can pull the code and build it continuously. What is meant by building the code? Here developers are making the comments, right? So once code is committed, it would be pulled and built. I need a system which can pull the code and build it automatically. What is meant by builds first? What is meant by building the code? Anyone? What is meant by building the code?
Making it into executable format.
Yeah, building the code is nothing but compiling the code and packaging the code. These two put together is called building the code, right? Compiling and packaging put together is called building the code. Compiling and packaging put together is called building. If you talk about Java code as an example, Java developers write the source code, which is with extension .java. This will be converted into .class files, right? All that's called compiling. Compiling means converting the source code into executable, right? And all this executable code will be packaged into single ready to be deployable file, which is called packaging. Means let's say there are 100 .java files, 100 .class files will be generated when you compile. And then all of them would be packed and created into a single ready to be deployable file. All of this put together is called building the code. Got an idea now what is building?
Yes. Yes.
So this is called building the code. So we need a system which can pull the code and build it. And what if there are any build errors, syntax errors, runtime errors? All those errors would be sent to developers, right? So any errors, syntax errors, runtime errors would be sorted out and would be sent to developers. They'll fix it and again make a change. So this process would keep on continuing. This is in case of build failure, right? What if build passed? If builds pass, let's say build is successful, no syntax error, runtime error. So if build pass, it will go to the next phase, right? It will go for the next phase of testing where you will execute the test cases, which is called continuous testing. Test cases will be again written by automation test engineers. Okay, this is called continuous testing. They will do the testing. Automation test cases will be executed here. And what if test cases fail? What if any tests fail? What happens? Who should fix it? This is in case of builds pass.
Developer.
Yes.
Yes, again, those are bugs that should be fixed by developers. Means again, code change, code commit. So whenever code commit, again, this process repeat, right? So that would be, if failed, it would be reported to developers. What if test passed? It would go for deployment, right? Continuous deployment. Continuous deployment, of course, first deploy to lower environments, then to the higher environments, right? This is in case of test fail. This is in case of test pass. So here automation test cases will be executed. So here if you see continuous development, continuous builds, continuous testing, continuous deployment from lower to higher level environments. This is what is called continuous integration, right? And this is done via continuous integration server like Jenkins. So Jenkins works like an orchestrator or tool. All of this happens via Jenkins. It doesn't mean that Jenkins is building, Jenkins is testing, Jenkins is deploying. but build is happening via Jenkins. Jenkins at the backend uses some build automation tool like Maven, Gradle, and so many tools are there. Similarly, it will execute the test cases. Those test cases may be written in Selenium, UFT, JMeter, whatever it is, and then deployed using Docker, Kubernetes, and some configuration management tools and so on. So Jenkins works like an orchestrator. If you consider a music band, do you know the orchestrator? Will he play any music instrument? He will not play any music instrument. Rather, he will instruct, right? Which instrument should be played at what level. He will give the instructions, right? The same is the case here. In Jenkins, we will create something like jobs. Jobs are nothing but tasks. Okay, they are nothing but, job is nothing but a task. What this job does actually, it's nothing but a task. Job is nothing but a task which will perform some activity by using the right tool at the right time. Means we create these jobs as a Jenkins user, like Maven job or test job, deploy job, Maven job, a build job, which will be using some Maven at the backend, or which may be using Ant. You can configure which tool to use and all. So we will create different jobs like build job, test job, deploy job, and we'll connect them in a sequence such that one job would trigger the next job and so on. Right? That's how you build this pipeline. Am I clear? So you will have continuous development, continuous builds, continuous testing, and continuous deployment. So Jenkins is one such tool which works like this orchestrator, and this is called continuous integration, wherein every code commit made by developers will go through the entire process, and it can promises the quality products because every change will go through this entire process. Every commit, we already learned Git, so every commit will go through this process. This is called continuous integration, which is very much helpful in the DevOps strategy. To understand the importance of this continuous integration, you should have an idea of traditional integration. Anyone here who have worked in the traditional integration approach? Yeah. Okay, see, continuous integration is the process of automating build and test process each time a commit is done. That's what. Whenever a commit is done, we need a system which can identify the commit, trigger the builds, trigger the deployments and so on, trigger the builds, testing and so on. That's what is continuous integration. If you compare it with traditional integration, there used to be a traditional integration couple of years back where they used to integrate the code manually, right? They used to integrate the code manually. There'll be a separate integration team who will sit and do this integration manually, right? They will do this integration manually. Also, integration happens once in a while, maybe once in a 6 months, right? Like when code is developed after 6 months, they'll take all this code and integrate into the system, which may bring so many side effects. It may not work. It may be working on some integration servers. It might not be working on other servers. So all of this would happen, right? So that's how you'll have integration events happening. Also, the time gap is huge. Do you see here? Because time gap is huge. The code is developed 6 months back. Now we are integrating any bugs, anything identified will take a lot of time to get resolved, right? Fixing them would take a lot of time. And they used to spend some sleepless nights. Even development lead used to join them during this integration events. And it may be working on integration servers, but may not be working on other servers. These are all the challenges they have, right? So, also because
Waterfall.
in all these methodologies, yeah, traditional integration is the approach implemented, right? Which is having all these challenges. So, but then if you see, if you compare it with integration, continuous integration, integration happens multiple times a day. Whenever a commit is there, integration is happening. Whenever there's a commit, integration happens. So, integration events are more, right? Multiple times it's integrated. Every change will go through the entire process. So obviously we can expect a qualitative products, right? We can expect quality in the product. Okay. And also Because it's integrating the same day, we can fix them very quickly. The whole process is automated. So these are all the advantages of continuous integration. Quality, productivity, manual errors, manual effort is reduced. So these are all the challenges. I mean, these are all the advantages of continuous integration over traditional integration. Were you all clear with both the approaches? So traditional versus continuous integration. Integration events are less and time gap between them is large. That's what we were talking. Integration happens manually once in a while. Manual errors, right? There will be human errors, obviously, lot of time, lot of effort, more people are needed. Sometimes integration may not be successful. So errors due to manual integration, time and effort consuming process. So there came continuous integration, improves quality because every change will go through the entire process, which obviously increases the quality, increases the productivity as well, and reduces the risk of human errors. So, and these are all the different tools like Jenkins, CodeShip, Bamboo, TeamCity, Travis CI, so many are there, out of which Jenkins is very widely used. You can see the graph, the blue graph is for Jenkins. It is so widely used, right? And yeah, why Jenkins is very famous out of all these tools? First reason, open source, and it is a Java-based application. It's Java-based application means it supports multiple operating systems. It works on Windows, Linux, Mac. Also, because it's a Java application, support is huge, good community support. It's a Java-based application. It's again an application which has got a great UI, which runs on the browser, which you can use it very easily, right? And it has got, I mean, very easy to use and good community support. It is developed in Java. It doesn't mean that it can work for pipelines or else for applications which are Java applications. It works for any application, but it is developed in Java. That's all. Right? And then, yeah, it works on easy to set up and upgrade. Distributed team management. Yes, that's another advantage we have, right? Like if you are a team of DevOps team working there, it can help you manage the team with the different access. Like you can restrict their access and permissions, which person can work on which job, all of that can be handled very well. We look into those features. Okay. So all of this comes with a hands-on. Jenkins, everyone should learn it. Even though you want to be a developer, even though you should have idea on Jenkins, everyone should learn Jenkins. It's very easy to use. Only thing is you need to understand properly. Jenkins will be used throughout the course to manage end-to-end pipelines. So you need to learn it carefully. Good to go. From here on, hands-on begins. We can go install Jenkins and get started. Before we go for the hands-on, any questions from anyone? Yes, Achal Gupta, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, Preeti, how it is different from GitLab? The same cases like restricting user access can be done on GitLab also.
So all these are same tools, like I have shown you, right? These are all similar tools. CodeShip, Bamboo, Travis CI, TeamCity, even GitLab, GitHub Actions. These are all similar tools as Jenkins, but Jenkins is very widely used. Okay, when you talk about distributed team management as a Jenkins feature, I'm saying it's one of the features of Jenkins. It's so famous and widely used because of its flexibility, because of its support, plugin support. Means it has got hundreds of plugins. Distributed team management may be there with all the other tools as well. But the main thing is its flexibility, and it can be integrated with any other tools, and it's a plugin support. Plugin support is it's a plugin based tool. It has got these add-ons or plugins, whatever you call them, to extend or enhance the functionality of Jenkins. Means if you need some feature in Jenkins, you can install a plugin and you are good to go. Or else, let's say you want to install it with some tool. Yes, again, a plugin will help you. So plugins help you have Jenkins extended features. So that's how it's one of the features why it is very widely used.
So we're gonna learn more about Jenkins, like how it's up plugins and all that, right?
Yes, obviously we are just starting the hands-on. We will learn all these things, plugins, everything. So let's get started with the hands-on. You can go with the same instance you are using till yesterday. I'm just starting it. So to start Jenkins, like I said, it's a Java-based application. Java should be installed. We'll do that. Let's connect to this first. Let's connect to this. So now we need to install Jenkins. To install Jenkins, already the links, everything will be in the drive. But always you prefer the approach, right? This is how you should do. Those links may change, but this is how you can install. Install Jenkins, it's an open source, so you can go through this page, or else you can just go for download and deploy Jenkins. So here, if you see download Jenkins, when you click download Jenkins, here are the Jenkins base. Like I told you, Jenkins works on multiple operating systems. It runs as a Docker container. We'll see this as well. You can use it on Debian, Ubuntu, or Windows, and so on. So depending on your operating system, choose the approach. Mine is Red Hat based. How do you know which distribution is your Linux? I told you in the last class, there is a file called XCOS release. It will show you I'm using Amazon Linux too. It's like CentOS, Red Hat, Fedora. So you can choose, see here and choose it accordingly. Click the option which is relevant to you and execute this command. This is about downloading the Jenkins repository file. Once through wget command and then download the Jenkins key file. Just follow the instructions as suggested. And then, like I said, Java is required, right? It is about installing some packages. Basically, Java is the important one. So let us install Java. They're installing Java 17 Open JDK. It says that Java Open JDK is not available. Let me install the latest version. This should also work. Install Java should work. Okay, it's saying Java 17 already installed. Is it? To see the Java configurations, there's a command to see all the Java configurations. Alternatives, config Java. It will show you all the Java installations. Yes, of course, Java is there. But it says, oh, okay, already this package is there and Java is also there. It's okay. So Java, if it is there, it's fine. Otherwise, install Java will install. Okay, so as Java is installed, we can go and install Jenkins now using install Jenkins. This will install Jenkins. See, it is asking for confirmation, give yes. To confirm, proceed with downloading the packages. right? So Jenkins is installed. Now you can start it. Systemctl start Jenkins. It should start Jenkins. And by the way, Jenkins default port is 8080. So we should hit 8080 on the server to see Jenkins. One more problem is already I installed Tomcat, right? It might be conflicting. So we should stop that Tomcat and release that code. First, let it finish. Seems like it started. Let me check. Because Tomcat is anyway stopped, it might be started. Status Jenkins. Yes, it's running 4902. So net stack minus lntup pipe grep 4902. So it says it's on 8080. So let's go to port 8080. Let's hit this on 8080. We should see Jenkins. Yes, this is the first page of the Jenkins. Unlock. Jenkins will be locked for this is only for the first time. You can unlock it. How to unlock it? Actually, whenever you install Jenkins, there'll be a directory created called var lib Jenkins. This is called the home directory of Jenkins, where all the Jenkins information will be stored. Do you see that? So here there'll be something called secrets, where there'll be initial password. See, this is the one we need to get. Cat that, this is the initial password. Copy this and give this to unlock. That's what it is also saying, var lib Jenkins secret initial password. So this is only for the first time to unlock. Yes, now you can see it is asking for customizing Jenkins. So here it is asking plugins, that's what it says, plugin extend Jenkins with additional features to support many needs, right? So it's asking to install the suggested plugins, means more widely used plugins, right? If we select this, it will install more widely used plugins. Or else you may choose this, select plugins to install. You can choose whatever plugins you need. Okay, you may go for it and choose whatever you need. We can go for this. It may take a while. This is again only for the first time of launching your Jenkins. If you miss here, later on also you can install after login, but this page will be only once. So I'm just going with more widely used plugins. See here, you can see Ant, Gradle, authorization strategies, so many plugins being installed. It may take a couple of minutes. All of these plugins, where they'll be installed? In the Jenkins home directory. This is called Jenkins home directory. Var lib Jenkins. Here again, there is a directory called plugins. This is where all of them will be installed. It will show you the count. See 31. As it keep on installing, all the plugins will be installed in this path. You can see them here.
Preethi,
Right?
we install Jenkins in our system or EC2 instance.
EC2 instance.
Okay.
I connected to the EC2 instance today, right? And I logged in and I'm doing it. So you can do this here. In your local machine also you can do, but this is the preferable method. Do you see as it keep on installing 77 plugins? So let it install.
And also yesterday we did Tomcat, so it also installed in EC2.
Yesterday we installed Tomcat. Today?
Yesterday we installed Tomcat. It is also installed on EC2, right?
Yeah, yes, everything we are doing on EC2 only. Except Git, everything else we are doing on EC2 only.
Okay.
Preeti, I have a question.
Hmm?
I no longer have PEM file with me, so how do I regenerate that?
Your voice is low, couldn't get you. Louder, please.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
I actually deleted that PEM file of EC2 instance. So how do we regenerate that?
No, not possible. Only once it will be, you should store it securely. In the beginning, I told you, right? If PEM file is lost, you cannot connect to it. You can't regenerate.
Okay, so
So
we just
create
have to
another
create a
instance.
new instance.
Create another instance.
So can we delete the instance?
Yes, you
Like,
can terminate.
so I tried, but it's only showing terminate.
Terminate,
That's
it will shut down and it will be deleted after some time. You should do
okay.
terminate.
Okay. We have to do terminate, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I was the one who asked the question in the group, like, it didn't give me PAM dot PAM format. It gave me CER. I don't know why is that.
You
Do you
might
know
want
anything about
to
CER?
here whenever you choose a key pair, create a new key pair, you should choose this one only. It will give either PEM or PPK. Where is CR coming from? Have you
I don't know.
selected this one? Even that is
No.
also PEM or PPK. You are
Yeah.
referring to some wrong file, that's one thing. Another thing is, this is not because you choose a wrong instance, but don't choose this T223. You should choose this one. But
Yeah.
that
I
is not just because of this, but still
Mhm.
choose this one and refer the file correctly. You are referring to a wrong file. Anyway, see, plugins were installed and any more questions I'll take up in some time. So 176 plugins got installed and it's asking to create a first admin user for the first time for login. And just creating a user by name, admin, password is admin, confirm password, full name, email address, right? So I'm just, you can give any name. Okay, I'm just giving these details, save and continue. And save and finish. Your Jenkins is ready. Start using Jenkins. You should see your Jenkins launched. This is your welcome page or the first page of your Jenkins. Okay, so now here, if you just go here, new item. Oh, okay, before that, yeah, this is the welcome page or the dashboard of your Jenkins. So before starting Jenkins, let us first begin with the basic concept of Jenkins, which is called a job or a task. Sometime back I'm talking about, right? You create jobs in Jenkins. So let's get introduced the concept of job. Here, this job is called as a item or a task in Jenkins. Okay, so let's create this. Give some name. I'm giving name as job one. Freestyle project is the more flexible type of job. I'm going with this. Hit on okay. And this is the very basic method of creating a job to get started with. There were so many sections in this job. Let's go with build steps. We'll see all these sections as we progress. Come to build steps. Here again, choose execute shell. Like I want to execute some shell command. So I'm writing something like this. Right? That's a shell script I have. Simple echo command, save it. So that's my job. Job or task is created. To execute the job, you have to click on build now or run the job or execute the job, whatever you call it. Right? So now you can go for build now. So it has got exit. Build now means run the job. So if you just go to console output, it just printed the output for this command. Right? As simple as that. So here my job is executing the shell script. Now can you tell me on which machine is this job executing? I'm accessing this from the browser from my Windows. And where is this job being executed?
On our remote server.
On the Windows server or on EC2 instance?
No, EC2, EC2.
Exactly.
It's easy to instance.
Executing the task on this EC2 instance. We are just accessing from my Windows machine, laptop. That's it. That's the first thing you need to get clarity. Where is the job running? Second thing is, which program or which tool is executing this job, this command particularly?
Jenkins.
Jenkins.
If I write some shell command here for Linux command, how is this executed? Which program is used to execute this shell commands or Linux commands?
Bash.
Bash shell, bash program. Same is the case here. You are executing it via Jenkins. That's it. I told you, Jenkins is an orchestrator. It will not do anything except managing the jobs. It will help us run the job. Instead of writing this command again and again, I can run this way, right? Multiple times I can run this C build to console output started by user admin. This admin user is starting the job. That's it. Starting this task. But the actual task is executed by the shell program on this server. That's what you have to understand. Got the point clear?
Yes.
Let me create one more job for better clarity. Let's say job 2. These are all the very basics. We'll be going from the basics till advanced concepts. So follow up carefully. So here I'm going to use a date command. Date is a Linux command which will print the current date of the server. Put that into a file under TMP called date.txt. Okay. So where will this file created? On this machine, correct? As of
Yes.
now, do you have this file? No, but when you run this job, it should create it. So this will make sure that job is running on the Linux server, EC2 instance. Also, the shell program on the server is executing. See, it just says date because the output is kept in here. Now, do you see date.txt is generated and it has the current date, so server date in UTC. Good. So this is how you can create any job in Jenkins. Today, they were just sample jobs, some shell script jobs. Tomorrow, I'm going to create this build job, which will build the code. A test job, which will run the test cases written. And I could also connect them. Like we can connect them in such a way that build job will start test job and so on and forms the pipeline. And then deploy job and so on. Making sense?
Yes.
This is just to give you a basic understanding of what a job is. Yeah. So this is how we create the pipeline, but this is a basic concept to get started with, like what is a job and all. So as of now, they are individual independent jobs. Later on, we'll connect them and set the sequence. So any questions on this part on the job? What is a job? Where is it executing? How it's being executed? Is this much clear for all of you? Okay. If this much is clear, let's look into before creating the real jobs. Let's talk about some user management and authorization strategies. All of this happens under Manage Jenkins. All the administrative tasks happens here. Again, under Manage Jenkins, there were so many sections like system configurations under security and so on. Come to security. Secure Jenkins. Define who is allowed to access and use the system. Go here. Here you can see the security realm used. We were using Jenkins own user database, like same Jenkins application user database. You can integrate with LDAP or Active Directories and so on. For now, we are using it. And coming to authorization strategy, logged in users can do anything. Means if anyone have credentials, they can do anything. But that's not a good approach, right? So there were different strategies. Let's go through one by one. The first one is matrix-based strategy. Here we can add the users, like user one, add the user. So, oh yeah. So here you can add the users, whatever users we have. We have created admin user in the beginning, right? So add the user. And if you keep the cursor, there were so many permissions. These are all the permissions. They'll be keep on modifying with the latest versions of Jenkins every time. So you have to just keep the cursor there and you can understand what each permission is about. I want to make him an admin, like for all the operations. See, grant all permissions to this user. Okay, done. Then let's create few more users. How to create application users? Save it. Here there is one more option called users. Only admin user is there, which we created in the beginning. Now let me create some users for testing. User one. Password. Confirm password. Full name also user one. Email ID user one. Right? And I'm going to create one more user. User. Confirm user. Full name user. Email address user. Right? So you have bunch of users created there. Admin user one, user two, and so on. And if you go to this dashboard, manage Jenkins, go to security, here you can see, right? Matrix-based security. Now let us add these users. Suppose there is a user one who needs only view permissions. Maybe he's a junior or joined the project as a new team member. So we can grant him only view on the job. Here you see different overall credentials, agent. You will learn what are all these later, what are credentials, what are agents. For now, just look on to job. So I want to give only read permissions on the job. See a job, that's it. They can see a job. He can't discover, he can't move, delete, create, and so on. That's all. Let me add user two. Let's say user two is a senior resource. Okay, I want all permissions, build, cancel, configure. Configure means edit, create, delete, discover means search, or move, read. Workspace, what is workspace? We learn. So delete the job, everything. So understood this matrix? Accordingly, now if you log in as user one, he can only see view permissions, whereas user two will have all permissions. Can we check this? Good to go.
Yes.
So let us save this. Okay, now you can go here and yeah. Let us log out as admin and log in as user one and user two and see how this matrix is working. User one. Oh, yeah. See, you will see this overall missing permissions because overall read should be there first of all. Overall read means first of all, they should see the dashboard. See, he's not at all seeing the dashboard. So that's a minimum permissions everyone should have. First login, I missed adding that. That's a problem if you don't add overall. First of all, dashboard should be there. See, overall is here, right? First part. Overall read should be there for every user. Now let's log in. Yeah, do you see now he got overall view, dashboard view. But if you notice, he cannot manage Jenkins. He cannot go to manage Jenkins. And if he go to job, only he can check the output. That's it. He don't have build permissions, configure, delete, rename, nothing. Got it, everyone? He can't
Yes.
build, but he can just see the output.
Yes.
User. But let's log in as user 2. See, he can build. Configure means edit the job, make changes, save it again, delete it, rename it, build it. Workspace, what is workspace? We'll see in some time. But yeah, he has got all the permissions across all the jobs. This is one of the user management strategy called matrix-based authorization strategy. Is this much clear? Any questions you can ask me?
Yes.
So we were talking about matrix-based authorization strategy, wherein a user is having same permissions across all the jobs, like job 1, job 2. User 1 is there, who is having all read permissions, only view. Whereas user 2 is having, user 2 is having all permissions across all the jobs. This kind of strategy is called matrix-based authorization strategy. What if we need a strategy like this? Can you guess? User 1, okay, may have read permissions here, maybe all permissions, or else need not be all, few permissions. It could be anything, only build or else only configure, different things, right? I'm talking about to read and all. It could be anything, right? From the matrix. So read or else, user 2 may have all here, read here. Why do you need it? We need it if you want to allocate the job based on their expertise. Different strategies are implemented in different projects and different organizations. Maybe he came from development background. This is a builder job, so maybe job 2 is a builder job. So he want to, or else I want to assign this lead or manager may want to assign this to him. He's coming from deployment background, or else a newbie. He doesn't have any background. He was new into IT, but I mean not into IT. Like he might be having overall knowledge, a lead or a manager, he might be having experience with the deployment process. So if you want to assign the jobs, or else if you want to allocate jobs based on their expertise or availability, whatever, right? This is how is this possible, right? You are assigning jobs. Same user can have different permissions across different jobs, right? So this is possible with another strategy called project-based matrix or project-based authorization strategy. Project means job-based. Right, quite possible, right? Like I said, different teams, different projects uses different strategies based on so many factors, depending on their availability of the resources, depending on their plan, depending on how they design their pipelines, all these factors comes in, right? So
Yes.
let's look into this project-based. Yeah, I'm logged in as an admin who has got this manage permissions. Security. Till now we were using matrix based. Choose here project based. First add the admin user, add all other users we have. User 1, user 2. Here first let me give everything to admin. Then overall read should be there. And job also read should be there. This is global or common for all jobs. Then how do you give job specific permissions? I'm repeating. Overall read should be there for everyone. So given that. Job read should be there again because that's a minimum permission they should have on every job. And also that's common for all the jobs. Now if you want to specify the job, save it. Yep. Here, here, how do you give job specific permissions? Go to each job. Configure. Here, if you go to each job, in the general section, there'll be something called enable project-based strategy. Here, you have to restrict each user. First, let me add all the users. Whoever need permissions, add all the users, admin all permissions. User 1 should have, let's say, all permissions on this job. User 2 should have only read. That's all. Understood? And let's do for job 2 also. Go to job 2, configure, general, enable this, add all the users we have. Whoever need permissions on this job, add those users. Now, all permissions for admin user. User 2 should have all permissions on this job. Build, cancel, configure, delete, move, read, workspace, delete. User 1 only. Clear with this matrix configuration, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Save it. Now let me log out. Log in as user 1. Now, same user. If we go to job 1, he can see I forgot to give build, I think. But yeah, he has configured, delete, workspace, everything. Same user. If we go to job 2, missing. Do you see that? Right? Same
Yes.
user,
Yeah.
different permissions on different jobs. Same is the case if you log in as user 2, we will have all permissions on job 2. Yeah, here I have given build now. So job 2 all permissions, but job 1 only limited permissions. Right? This is what is project-based authorization strategy. Right? Different same user can have different permissions across different jobs, or else if you need a quite straightforward method, matrix based. Same user will have same permissions across any job. It depends on how you design the pipeline in your projects. Any questions? See, Jenkins, in my opinion, is very easy. Personally, I feel Jenkins is very easy, but I do agree people suffer using it because of not learning it properly. Right? If you understand it properly, very easy. See, you don't have any commands. Of course, we write Jenkins pipeline. That's a different story. We do that. But the navigation, the usage, all of this would be very much easy. Anyone can learn it. Even the pipeline Jenkins file, we can learn easily. That's where we write the script. But yeah, it's very easy. You can do many things with Jenkins if you learn properly. So understand it. That's all you have to do. So this is matrix based and project based. There is one more strategy which is very widely used than these two. That is called role based authorization strategy. Which is called RBAC strategy. This is more widely used in real time, which is like a combination of both matrix based and project based. Shall we go for it?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So let's go for this. Go to again manage Jenkins. Security. Let's under authorization, let's choose the next option, role based, but I'm not seeing that option. What to do now? To extend, enhance the function of Jenkins, if you need any feature, what you should do? Plugin. We have installed some default plugins, but RBAC plugin doesn't come by default, so you have to install it. So now let's see how to install a plugin. That's how, as per the requirement, you have to install plugins later on. Again, under the same manage Jenkins page, you have plugins. You will have again different sections. Available plugins shows all the thousands of plugins available for Jenkins. Install plugins shows all the ones installed. In the beginning, we installed, right? Default ones, all of them will be shown. Go to available and search here. You don't need to remember a complete plugin. You can search here. You can go to the official documentation of the plugin, read what it does. Okay, it will also give you examples of its usage. For any plugin, the same. You can follow it and use it. Similarly, I'm installing it. It may take a while to get installed. Role-based authorization status installed. Now that it is installed, if you go to security, you should see it now. Do you see that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Now select it. That's it. Then how to add users and all? That comes in here. See, do you see this new another option came up earlier? We have only users. But now because of that RBAC plugin, you also had this. You should go for it. First, you should create the roles. Like admin role is already there. Is admin string. Let's create another role called employee. Employee should have overall Jenkins read, let's suppose. Okay. Done. Then item roles. Let me create few jobs. See, there could be some different jobs, right? Let's say FCAPS is a project name. FCAPS dev project, something like this, right? Or else, let's say dev for FCAPS, something like this. Okay. I'm just creating some dummy one. I'm not doing anything. Similarly, let's say there is some job related to test for FCAPS project. That's a project name, let's say. Something like this. Okay, and then now I created some jobs. Again, go back to assign the roles. Here, you can decide which people who should see these jobs. Let's suppose I'll say dev developer role. You can set the pattern. He should see all the jobs. Let's say his FCAPS project. He should see all the jobs related to FCAPS kind of. You can set the pattern using some regular expression. Regular expression uses while characters like dot and all. So something whichever starts with dev dot. Anything starting with the dev should be there. See, if you select it, see, it should see your job name. So pattern is working well. So role name is developer. So if he is a developer, he should have all permissions on it. Right? You may create multiple roles like this. Okay. Let me add another role. Okay, role to add, let's say, dev fresher means dev read role. Same thing. Okay, same job, but he should be only reading it. Am I making sense? Similarly, let's say he's a tester means senior tester. He should see any job starting with test. Add the role. If you click, see, he's seeing all the jobs related to test. Let's say tester read role. Only, okay, first let me give tester all permissions on test jobs. That's how you segregate the jobs and create the roles. Test read means only read. Were these 4 roles clear? People will be added to the roles. Like user one can be developer. If he is developer, he'll give these permissions. If he is added to this role, only read on dev job. Like that. Got an understanding?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how you create the roles depending on
So
your
we'll just
Yeah.
create
Yes,
this
yes,
whole
sir.
one, and then we assign the users later, right?
right
That's
now we
how.
are creating roles. Later on, we'll assign these roles to the users.
Okay.
You're first creating the roles, global roles or common roles, general roles or minimum permissions. Later
Mhm.
on, job specific here means combination of both matrix based and project based.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any more queries on this page? Can I go and assign the roles?
Yes.
Now go to assign the roles. Admin is there. Oh, sorry. Here you see admin and employee are the roles. Admin user is added to admin role. Let's say user one should be an employee. User two should be also an employee. So employees, items. And do you see here roles are already here. If you can have 20 roles also, you will see this columns. Now add the users. Now user one should be a developer. User two should be a tester. You may choose others also if you have other users. I have only 2 users. Right? Good. User one is a developer. User two is a tester. Agent roles are about agents. We will learn agents later. But clear with this now?
Yes.
I need confirmation from everyone. Everyone
Yes,
should
yes.
unmute and speak up.
Yes.
It's not that only 1 or 2
Yes.
people will respond.
Yes.
Save this. Thank you all for confirming. Now go to this. Let's log in as user one should see what job?
Developer.
Only jobs that start with.
Yes, Preethi.
Yeah, we will see only this. Also because he's developer, all the permissions. Right? If dev read if you have given, you will see only read permissions. Similarly, if you log in as user two, okay, see, he'll see only tester jobs, starting with testing and all of them. This is what is role-based access control strategy, which is widely used in real. You can practice this by creating multiple users, assign different roles. It need not be all the roles. You can create many other roles. I'll give you some idea. Clear, right? The strategy.
Yes.
You can
Yes,
try out this way. There could be so many roles, like dev build role. Means you can only build whichever starts with dev. Dev dot start. Okay. Add this. If you to search you to check your pattern is correct or not, you can do this. It's correct. He should have only build configure. So dev build role. So you can ask the user. So which user should fall into which role? That particular project owner will decide which team member should have what role. If it is a junior, they might be giving dev role. If it is a senior, they might be this project permissions, which user should have what role will be decided by the project owner and will be shared with the DevOps person. In DevOps team also, an admin may have only one will have this permission, admin permissions to do this. Accordingly, they'll create the roles and assign the users. Right? I
Yes.
started jobs with the dev and test. It may be project name, right? It may be starting with that project name. Your job may start with project name rather than dev job, test job. Just to make the things clear, I have given this way. I believe you all can relate it correctly.
Mhm.
Test build. So on test jobs, you'll have build permissions. Okay, test build is there. So again, build permissions only and configure. But on test jobs, like this, you may create any roles and manage your Jenkins. Which user should fall under which role? Project owner will give you the information. Accordingly, you have to assign the users to these roles. Interesting, isn't it? So this is what are the different strategies. If you want, you can also go over this documentation of the plugin. See documentation. The role plugin is meant to be used Jenkins to add a new role-based mechanism to manage user permissions. See, creating global roles such as admin, job creator, anonymous, allowed to set overall permissions. Do you see that? Creating item role allowed to set item specific. Item means job. I told you, right? Item, job, project are used interchangeably, like job run, credentials, etc. Agent roles are about agent specific permissions. What are agents? We will learn. Usage, how to use it, you should choose this one. That's what we did. And then configure the roles. Global roles apply to any item. You can also read this. See different regular expressions. Do you see examples? Right? There is something like question mark, I. You can try out, experiment them. Right? Like this, or different characters were there. See, it's giving example. Also restrict project naming. Let's suppose you want to restrict some projects. That also can be done. See, global roles are admin, builder, creator. Okay, builder means who can build the jobs. Creator means who can create. Then folder access, folder build, folder clean. Those are the roles. Try out this also. Then assign them. That's what we do. You can try looking into this. You can also do that through API, through the hook. This is another way through the console script. Configuration management can be used via scripts. Right, this can be for your reference. This is about user management via Jenkins. Any questions from anyone in this part? We have seen how to work, manage users. We have seen how to install a plugin. As we go by, we'll be installing few other plugins. Okay, we will do that as well. So tomorrow we shall get started creating the real jobs, like build job, test job. To do that, we need to get an understanding of Maven, like what is Maven, how Maven works. Tomorrow we'll go through those Maven concepts, and then we'll get started with real jobs. How can we integrate roles from IAM to Jenkins? This comes with SAML authentication. You have different types of authentication. Those that comes under this one. Security role. Right? LDAP, Active Directory. If you want to do this IAM authentication kind of, you have plugin supported. You have to install that plugin, so you will see those options. That's called SAML authentication. Different ways are there. You have to search for those plugins, like SAML authentication. See, authentication user management enables use of SAML authentication single sign-on. See, this is another type of thing. Or else, again, in this, you have again different types. See, AWS credentials, IAM credentials within Jenkins credentials, store Amazon IAM access key, secret key. This is a different thing, but yeah, you have different ways. Let's say you want to integrate with IAM users. You don't have this, but allow storing IAM credentials. IAM authorization strategy. EC2 modules for SDK, library plugins. This is for access key. Yeah, see, also support IAM roles and IAM MFA token. You can try out this. Basically, everything is via plugins. Like I said, plugins. If you want to understand what this plugin does, because by the name, it's not possible. Also, it's not that you should learn all thousands of plugins. This is how you should refer. Allow storing Amazon credentials, store IAM access key, also support IAM roles and multi-factor authorization. Right? Any more queries? We shall get started understanding Maven and create some jobs in the next class. This is all I have for today. Any more questions from the previous classes or today's topic, you can ask. And once it is done, like I said, stop it and you can start it again whenever you need it. Any questions from any of the topics covered till now?
Preethi, I have one question. We use these tests, right? For temporary save.
Huh.
Te-
Yeah, git
And
state. Hmm.
also you use git .git ignore file.
Yes,
So both have same application, right? Means both have same use.
no. This one we discussed in the class also. If you have attended or listened the recording, git stash is to put the unstaged changes on hold. Only put unstaged changes on hold. Whereas git ignore to exclude the file from tracking completely.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, got it.
Hmm. Any more questions?
I have a question regarding the EC2 instance.
Hmm.
So, what if we keep the job on stop status, whether it will be deleted after some time, or we definitely need to put it on a terminate status?
Stop status is always safe. It will not be deleted if you stop it. Tomorrow or whenever you want, you can start it again and reuse it. But if you terminate it, it will be deleted also. It will be stopped and deleted if you terminate it. But it is there when you stop it. If you don't want it, you terminate it. If you want to reuse it, stop it and start it whenever you want.
Okay. So in case like if it is on stop status, the number of hours will not be counted with
Will not
respect to
be
the.
counted.
Thank you.
Any more questions? All right, then we'll close here and continue tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.